Recording in progress.
Yo, what up, what up, what up? What's good, family? I'm Trey Frazier. I got my brother Maestro Styles here with me.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to another episode of the Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. Special shout out to all of our Facebook Live viewers, also folks following us on YouTube and on Twitter. Make sure y'all continue to follow us on those platforms. And also, you can follow us on our IG at Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. Week 1 is in the books, Maestro.
Football.
I gotta say, man, first and foremost, I'm 3-0 in all my fantasy leagues right now. I'm in 3 leagues right now, and I'm 3-0, bro.
I didn't win week 1.
No?
No, I didn't realize that I hadn't substituted Dallas defense for Pittsburgh's defense. I didn't realize it. But I thought I did, and I'm pretty confident. I don't remember, but I'm pretty confident that that would have got me to win. But
Yeah, because Pittsburgh's defense definitely put up some fantasy points. So yeah, I can see that. I can see that being the case.
But that's how it happened for me. Yep.
Yeah, but how we feeling, man?
Hey man, I'm good, man. I can't complain, man. Let's go.
Let's do this, man. So before we get into all the recap stuff, we got special guests coming in about 25 minutes. We're gonna welcome back Jeff Fox, Miami radio sports personality. He was on here back in May, I think, and we decided to bring him back. Going to talk some Dolphins as the Dolphins beat the Patriots on Sunday, and now the Dolphins are coming to Baltimore to play my Ravens, and so we'll chat about that as well as some other stuff that's been happening around sports. So let's get into it, man. Your reaction or any observations from week 1?
Well, I don't think I'm gonna throw it back on you. I got so much commentary for last night's game. So should we just go ahead and talk about that game now?
Yeah, let's get into it, bruh. Let's get into it, man.
Okay. Well, my stuff is less. My commentary is less about what actually happened in the game, but more so the things around the game. I guess Russell Wilson being booed is I guess that happened. I guess you can say on field. I guess. But I think Seattle need to be a little more respectful, man. I do. Let me just start with that. They should be a little more respectful to Russell Wilson of all people. I get that maybe some things, maybe that some comments was made about how him and Pete Carroll didn't get along. More specifically during the end of the relationship, but. Look, man, Russell Wilson was Russell Wilson to y'all, and I don't like how they treated him.
Rumor has it that Pete Carroll told the fans or kind of insinuated that the fans should boo Russell Wilson when he comes out. I don't know if that's true or not. It wouldn't surprise me if he did something, crazy like that. But you kind of alluded to something where maybe there was something that didn't end well between him and Russ. I agree with you.
There have been rumblings. Being reported. I mean, down to, and I don't know how true this is, but down to the infamous throw in the Super Bowl years ago, where Russell Wilson didn't necessarily agree with how that went down.
Yeah.
So I mean, there has been issues. I mean, maybe not nothing crazy. Up until I guess now, but I even saw somewhere where he didn't like where some other quarterbacks were scouted. In prior years, like he didn't really care for them I guess looking at other options at quarterback.
Yep.
Later on in his career, I even heard rumors like that. I can't remember exactly who they spoke about, but he was like, I'm still Russell Wilson. Like I don't understand
Yeah, right.
why you looking at other quarterbacks.
Yeah, there
So
was
I
always that
mean,
trade rumor. There was always trade rumors,
yeah,
like going back
yeah,
a couple
that,
of years
yeah,
ago.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I
But
agree, man.
still,
It's uncalled for. I think if you're a Seahawk fan and you've rooted for this team since its inception, and they've been bad for about maybe a decade or two before they started really getting good in the 2000s, I think you got to put in perspective, like, yo, this cat might be the greatest Seahawk in franchise history. Like, I mean, it's debatable that he's number one. I mean, people
yeah.
talk about Steve Largent. I've heard some people say Marshawn Lynch, which I don't think that's the case. I've heard Sean Alexander being a candidate for that. Matt Hasselback. I forget the
Richard
guard that used to
Sherman,
play
maybe.
for them.
Oh,
Sherman, I've
Walter
heard.
Jones for sure.
Walter
Walter Jones
Jones.
for
Yep,
sure.
yep. I've heard that name too thrown around. But you can make the case that Russell Wilson is the greatest Seahawk in franchise history. And the fact that that
Yeah.
man came back home and y'all booed him, and it's not like he was there for a number of years and didn't win anything. Like he won y'all only Super Bowl in franchise history. I mean, the Legion of Boom had a lot to do with that particular year, but he was still a part of that team, and he became what he became, later after that. So, Peyton Manning just kind of, going back a few years when Peyton Manning went back to Indianapolis. I don't remember Colts fans booing Peyton Manning. You know what I mean? When Tom Brady last year went back to New England, Patriot fans wasn't booing Tom Brady. So why would Seattle, stoop to that level
Well,
to do that?
I agree. By the way, I agree. But I will say this in response. Peyton Manning had been there for how long in Indianapolis?
13, 14 years.
13, 14. Okay, it's pretty. That's actually pretty close. But
Russ
that's
has
actually
been there
pretty close
10
in time
years.
because 10 years, right? Yeah, it's actually pretty close in time. But
Yep.
and then Tom Brady. I mean, that's
Right.
that's
And keep in mind, with Peyton, it didn't end well. Because remember, he sat
yeah.
out the final year because of the neck.
Right, right. I'll say again. I mean, yeah, I don't know if you was trying to bring race into it, and that's not where I was going. If you were, but what I will say is that Seattle, you need to be more grateful, man. Let's not act like Russell Wilson wasn't Russell Wilson when he was with y'all,
Yeah.
and to be frank. Because we get ready to praise Geno Smith.
Yep.
To be frank, he is not the replacement for Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
So act
Yeah.
like. So
I
act
saw your
like,
tweet. And at first I was like, yeah, you and I, we kind of side with the fact that the fans should be more respectful, but I didn't want to, and I'm not sure if you were trying to do this to Geno Smith, but I didn't want to get involved in any slander of Geno Smith because
not last night. Yeah,
right,
not last night.
because
Not
Geno
for last
Smith
night.
deserves a lot of praise. Like that might be his best game, even though he
I
only
don't.
scored 17 points. Like that might
I
be
don't think. I don't think Might is. I don't think Might at all. I think that was his best game.
that. I mean, what was he? 18 for 18. His first, 17, 18 throws, he was like a perfect 100% completion rate.
I mean, I know this.
He looked good, man.
That was an efficient. That was a hell of an efficient game.
Yeah.
Some of the responses I've heard is that Geno Smith runs this all is how Seattle Seahawks always wanted this offense to be ran. How Geno Smith ran it last night, and that obviously Geno Smith isn't a better quarterback than Russell Wilson,
Right.
But Geno Smith is a better quarterback for that Seattle offense.
And he's been in the system
That's
for
some
a
of
couple years too. So
I don't. Yeah, but just because he's taller and he can. I guess people were saying he's more of a because he could see over the middle. Because he can see over the middle.
Yeah.
He's a better fit for that offense than Russell Wilson would have has been.
right.
why he's been in Seattle. That's some of the things I've been hearing. I don't know if I'm ready to go that far.
Yeah.
But that's some of the things that's been being said.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Geno Smith, man, because that was
Yeah, for sure. Hell of a game. Hell
that
of a game.
was
And
one game.
hell
Man.
of a game.
I almost was scared for him though, because when it was 10, I think it was at half, and they didn't score the rest of the second half. I was tweeting and I was like, "Hey, Geno, it's gonna be a moment here because this game right now is set up for Russell to win on
Right.
his old stomping ground. Like, Geno, you get the ball back. This about to be your moment. Like, you can't let this slide." And they went 3-and-out, and then Russ got the ball back, and then it's gonna lead right into the story of the game, which is that Nathaniel Hackett's dumbass decided, you know what? It's a 4th and 5. I got Russ and I got Brandon McManus. I'm gonna go with Brandon McManus to kick a 64-yard field goal. Like,
Right.
fam, like that's probably that's one of two dumb coaching decisions this weekend that I saw. That one is clearly number one. You don't pay Russell Wilson all that money to just be like, okay, get me to a 4th and 5, and then we're gonna put our kicker in to kick a 64-yard on the road. Like that.
Yeah.
That's not. Come on, man. You a rookie head coach, but nah.
And then they burnt, like, it was 50 seconds on the clock.
Yeah.
And they sat there, and I don't know if they were trying to draw off sides or what the hell they was trying to do.
Yeah.
Or if they were just flat out confused. But something happened before they called it. Like 30 seconds had died down. Obviously they were saying, the commentator was saying it or whatever.
Yep.
And that's just that's nasty behavior. It was reckless. Look, he's a first year head coach. For whatever that's worth. I won't sit here and act like, I've heard already Denver fans calling for his head, like he fire him, and or, like
Sean Payton.
One game, yeah, like it's one game, y'all. Calm down.
It's one game. It's one game.
Now, he should be getting smoked. Don't get it twisted. He should be getting smoked. He should be called all the dumbasses in the world.
Yeah.
But I mean, come on, firing him.
That was
now all of a sudden nobody ever believed that he would be a good coach, and
Yeah, you'd have thought Vic Fangio was still coaching the team. The way they kind of bled that clock, decided to call the timeout, and then put the field goal unit on there. Like, they could have rectified bleeding the clock, calling a timeout, because they still had 2 timeouts.
2 more timeouts.
And they had about, 20 seconds. They bled it down to 20 seconds of game clock, which was still cool, right? Because if you convert the 4th and 5, you call the timeout, and then you set it up for another play, get you a few more yards, then you get McManus a little closer in his range.
Right.
You kick the field goal, you get out of there, you get the W, and Russell, is the hero. But yeah, Hackett ruined that moment for us. Like, that game was there for Russ to win, and Nathaniel Hackett ruined it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100. I mean, I think you summed it up perfectly. The last, the last bothersome thing on this game for me was, while Geno Smith deserves all this praise, I awakened yesterday to a very disturbing photo, and it sent me into a very disturbing, I guess, rabbit hole of conversations today. And I want to know your opinion, even though you never played organized sports like I've never played organized sports. So the ass slap, the infamous ass slap that was pictured, and this wasn't an ass slap. If I'm to look at it on,
it was an ass grab.
Picture value, yeah, like he grabbed. Is that Marquise Goodwin from the 49ers? Used to be the 49ers.
I think it is. Yeah.
Look, man. Come on, man.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about, bro. I gotta be honest with you.
Look. So So I've been asking all day, and I hadn't had time to Google it because I really want to go. I really want to dig into no homo. I really want to find out what's going on with the origin of this ass slapping thing in sports, man. Because I was never okay with it. I remember in high school never being okay with it. Like people be like, "Oh yeah, we trying out for the football," and they be like, "Why you ain't trying out?" Nah, bro, anybody about to be slapping me on my ass. Like
Yeah.
I remember these are things I said in high school.
Yeah.
So, I really want to know the origin, but I want to know what you think about the origin of ass slapping in professional sports.
I would like to know where that came from though, because like I think you posted a good question, and it made me think for a minute, and I couldn't come up with the answer of where it came from. It just became a thing that you saw on TV. You see it in college, you see it in high school sports, you see it in the pros, and it's almost as if it's some form of tradition or something.
Yeah,
I don't know how it originated. You know.
I'm okay with a high five if you agree with what I did on the field. You can high five me. You know, a lot of people do the little jump into each other's
Yep.
shoulder thing nowadays, and
Yep.
all the celebratory dances. And why we can't just do that? You know, and then, Trey, I kind of got to asking, cause I'm not okay with it, and I'm not a sports player, so I know I'm not super qualified to answer this,
Yeah.
or have insight on this, and neither are you. But you're the only person I have to talk to, so I'm gonna ask you: how many players in the NFL you think are gay on the down low?
If I was to give a percentage,
Yeah,
I'll just throw this out there. I say 30%. I'll say 30%.
30%.
Yeah.
Okay. I asked somebody on Twitter, and they thought 10 to 12%. He was kind of like, bruh, the type of wild stuff that you see in a locker room is I mean like that's like the surface, like the Geno ass grab is like the surface stuff of
Yeah.
kind of some of the crazy homoerotic stuff that you see
Like it's G
in
rated. Like
in
it's
locker
G rated
rooms.
compared
Yeah,
to
like that. Yeah,
what could go
right
on.
to some of the stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm all for. I'm all for. Look, bro, me and you have been homies, and I don't even say friends. We've been brothers for upwards of 20 years, and never in a day have I thought that our how we bond, or how our crew circle bonds, involves anything of ass grabbing, nakedness, showers. You know what I'm saying? So I don't relate on that level. I don't understand how everybody seems, and I'm only gonna say seems because I'm not in locker rooms. Seems so comfortable with that, unless there's an amount of gayness involved in it.
Bruh.
Am I going too far?
I don't think you
Is
listen.
that
You have no you and I have no experience with this. We didn't.
yes?
I didn't play football. I played some basketball in seventh grade, but we didn't shower at the school. We went home. We took the bus home and went to the crib and showered. So we didn't do any of
Yeah,
that stuff. I have no experience with that. You have no experience with that kind of
absolutely
bonding.
none.
So I understand why this is sort of a question for you as it would be for me. I would love to talk to a former athlete about this. Like
We gotta find it.
I
We
would
gotta find
love to
somebody
get an
that's
athlete
opening.
that's on, that's been through the locker rooms, had that camaraderie with fellow teammates, whether it's whatever the sport is, because at
Whatever
the end of the
sport don't
day,
matter. Wherever
yeah,
they smacking and grabbing ass,
yep,
I want to talk to you because and again, this ain't shade. If that's whatever way it
it's a
goes,
great
I'm
question.
cool.
Yeah, it's a great
Whatever way it
question.
goes, if it means that a lot of NFL players or athletes in professional athletes are gay, that's cool. Or bisexual, whatever, that's cool.
Yeah,
If it's just Slim, it ain't like that, that's cool too. But me as a man, not it. hell, me as a teenager, as a male, as a boy,
Yep.
was never okay with it, and I know that my circle of friends who also didn't play professional sports, a lot of them anyway, didn't play professional sports, have never been okay with it. I mean,
Yeah.
like never been okay. Like we would watch that happen and be like, and like cringe at it a little bit.
Right.
So
Right.
I just really did wonder. But
It's
with that being said, hell of a game, Geno Smith.
yeah,
I
man.
would hate it. I would
Yeah,
hate
nah.
this to be titled
Gino
the
gets
ass
my
grab
applause.
game. I might have to call it the ass grab game though.
I ain't gonna do that to Geno Smith. But it's a good question. You know what it kind of reminds me of? It reminds me of the question of where did the origin of pants sagging off your ass came from. Like it kind of reminds
Well,
me
that
of
came.
yeah.
That
We
came
know
from
we
jail.
know that we know the answer to
Alright.
that. But it took me a while to figure out where that came from. And then when someone broke it down for me, it was like, oh, okay, yeah, it makes sense. This is kind of the same
Yeah.
thing with the ass smacking in sports. I want to know. I want to talk to a former athlete about that.
Yeah, I would love to get some information on that. I mean, yeah, I think that's an interesting concept.
Yeah, no question, no question. I'm gonna change gears for a minute. So, you know who else I want to give a shout out to this week? Saquon Barkley, man, and the reason I want to give Saquon a shout out, man, the 164 yards rushing in the game against Tennessee. They pulled off the upset. I love that Dayball went for two to, either win it or lose it right there. And I'll be honest with you, as they were, driving to try to tie the game, I said to myself, you know what? They're the Giants. Nobody expects them to win this game. They should go for two. And without hesitation, they was like, yo, we going for it. So the fact that they won that game, and they almost lost it because who's the kicker for Tennessee? Bullock or Suckup or
Bullock,
somebody?
yeah.
Yeah,
Bullock.
because he missed the easy field goal in my opinion. I think if he makes the field goal and the Titans win, I think I'm still praising Saquon in a sense because we hadn't seen Saquon run like that for like 3 years now. You know what I mean? So the fact that he's did this in week one, I hope he can continue to do that. Because they're gonna need to do that if the Giants are gonna have any chance of having a successful season anyway.
Well, more than the Giants' success, his success, him being able to make it through an entire season healthy would be great. We know that healthy, he could be the best running back in football. He could be,
Yeah.
just on his intangibles. So I hope that for him that he gets through the year healthy without any injury hiccups, and and now we could talk about him getting money.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be from the Giants, though, but I think somebody else out there is going to give him money if he has a successful season this year.
Yeah, for sure.
Let me give a shout out to Mocha Bella in the chat real quick. YouTube live chat. Appreciate you watching us on there, Mocha. I guess we could talk about. Your game too, man. And I said it at halftime at the 1:00 games. Up to that point, Pittsburgh but Pittsburgh played the best half of football of the 1:00 games going up to halftime. I know it got close. I know the Bengals came back. They tied it. And quite frankly, that Jamar Chase catch where he was walking along the goal line out of bounds, that was a touchdown. And the fact that Cincinnati,
You talking about the one where he stepped on the line?
the one
The
where he
one-handed
stepped on
jump?
the no, not the one where not the one-handed joint. The one before he caught the game-tying touchdown. The one where he's walking along the goal line towards out of bounds. He had 2 feet in, and that ball was over that goal line. Like, you got to watch the.
Okay, yeah, okay. I know
Yeah,
what you're talking about.
that
Gotcha, okay.
was a touchdown And as I'm watching it, I'm like, wait, they're not gonna review that? Like they're not gonna, because it was after 2 minutes, I think, and
Yeah, right.
nobody even thought to even review that. And the ref is standing right there, like the ref is
Yeah,
looking at Jamar Chase, and I'm looking at it multiple times, and I'm like, yo, that's a touchdown. Like they just
yeah.
basically just kind
That
of
was a
know
touchdown.
that, but then they get the touchdown
Not like
anyway.
it's not like we gave him a way easier touchdown anyway. So
Right. They y'all gave up the touchdown anyway, but then after that, that's when all the craziness just started happening. With the block kick by Minka, you had a missed kick by Boswell, you had a shank by McPherson, and then Boswell gets a second go at it to kick the game winner 23-20 there. I'll say this because I was hoping and praying that this game would end in a tie. I'll go back to that interview that those three receivers did on the Pivot podcast, where they was talking all the smack and like they was cocky and all that stuff. I heard, this is a rumor, but I heard that the whole black Air Force Ones that Mike Tomlin gave out to the team was sort of a symbolism, or maybe not a symbolism, but that was sort of the response to what those receivers were talking about in that interview, as if to say, hey, we heard y'all confident, huh? Well, and we know y'all kicked our ass, but not this time. Not this
well,
time.
I don't remember anything in that interview that would correlate to black Air Forces. I don't know if you're aware of the stigma that comes with black Air Forces nowadays, but for those who don't know, black Air Forces, me personally, I'm a adapter of this philosophy. I don't trust a nigga that will come outside wearing black Air Forces. You look like you about to rob somebody. You look like you about to do dirt.
Yeah.
You look like you a shady
You grimy
individual. Like
nigga,
niggas
yeah.
don't wear. Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't wear black Air Forces in 2022, and it really before
Yeah.
I don't know exactly when the trend happened, but I remember when I noticed it, and I'm like, he don't look. This was a specific person. I'm like, this he don't look trustworthy. Like he about to, So the idea was is to give the appearance of like we about to go take what we want to take. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? That type of
Yep.
thing. Considering that nobody had us winning, and all of that. So
And it
it
was
was more
against the
of that.
defending AFC champions.
Well, I think if we were the underdogs in any game that week, whether it was Cincinnati, Baltimore, whoever it was, week one, I think Black Air Forces may have played a part in it.
You think so? You don't think that
I
that was
don't think
specifically for Cincinnati?
I don't think so, but I don't. I'm not in the locker room. I don't know, but I don't think so.
Okay.
I think if we were underdogs to anybody week one going to their house, maybe obviously stakes are higher with Cincinnati. But if it was
Yeah.
say, and I'm just throwing a name out there, I know they're not on the schedule. If it were Green Bay,
Yeah.
if it were Green Bay, and we were 7-point underdogs or 6-point underdogs, it would be that, and we were going to Lambeau, it would be that same energy. I think if we had played the Bills, it would be that same kind of energy this week one. Because nobody has us having a winning season or a successful season this year. We're not going to be a good against the good teams, is what's being said about us. So I think whoever would have got it week one, if they were considered high, top of the tier competition,
Yeah.
then the Black Air Forces might have came out.
Interesting. Okay. I just assumed, hey, they doing this specifically for the Bengals, and I wouldn't be upset with it at all. Like
Yeah,
that.
I'm not upset at it. Yeah,
Like that would have been, I mean, clever if it was specifically for them. So another thing that comes out of this game, so TJ Watt has a torn pec. It's determined now he's just gonna miss 5-6 weeks or something like that.
6 weeks, yeah, something like that.
So he's not gonna get the surgery, which would have put him out for the entire year. So
Right.
So I know you're happy about that.
Very
Najee
happy about that.
Harris got hurt too, but it looks like he's going to be a go against the Patriots on Sunday.
Yep.
So,
Yep, and I mean, in lesser importance, but important because I'm a Steelers fan. Mason Cole had an injury; he's fine at center. And Levi Wallace, if he was left early, but he came back, bumps and bruises. We should be fine on that front as well. And we're going to see New England this week. So
yep. And then the Bengals had a couple guys go out too. I saw T. Higgins because
T. Higgins,
I actually got T. Higgins on one of my fantasy lineups. No. I played T. Higgins on FanDuel. That's what happened, and I saw that he went out early. So obviously that made defending the Bengals receivers a lot easier because now they had to get other guys who I had even no idea was even on the depth chart for the Bengals at wide receiver. Tyler Boyd, I think, went out for a few snaps in that fourth quarter also. And then you got the situation with the long snapper, which is they're blaming that for the missed kick.
I won't say for certain. When they explained how Minka Fitzpatrick got to that extra point, that made sense to me.
Yep.
That made sense to me. That's like that's real locker room talk, for lack of a better term. So that made sense to me when it was explained.
Yep.
I think look, the relationship between long snapper, holder, and kicker is a crazy relationship. So I get it.
It's crucial.
I get it. So it's crucial. The timing got to be right, and if it's not for a second, you could have those types of things. I'm just thankful that it happened this week. Because let's be clear, I was really in my feelings how easy everybody knew Jamar Chase was going to get the ball except for Keller Witherspoon, and he didn't play. And that I guess 2020 is hindsight, but I didn't really like the angle he took. That he caught that ball so easily. It just bothered me. It just bothered me. I won't get too deep into what I liked and didn't like about the game. I like that we won, and that's always going to be that. Our offensive line struggled. We couldn't really get nothing going running wise, and but I knew that coming in that was going to be what we needed to work on.
And I don't want this to go unnoticed either. Joe Burrow just had a terrible afternoon. Courtesy of the Steelers defense.
Yeah, I'd like to think that we played a part in that. Courtesy
of that, but for 4 interceptions, 2 fumbles, he lost 1.
7 sacks.
And the play of the offensive line for the Bengals again. I get it's week 1, but as long as the offensive line for the Bengals continues to have games like this is always going to be a narrative of the Bengals until he has a few games in a row where he's only getting sacked twice a game. It's just what it is.
Clean. How about staying clean?
Or stay clean, yeah. I mean, it is what it is. So,
But I'm fine with him getting hit. I'm fine with it, though.
So y'all got the Patriots coming up Sunday, and they look terrible against Miami. On Sunday.
They look terrible next week.
The quarterback is hurt. So speaking of the Patriots, so how Belichick's been kind of keeping under wraps who's going to call offensive plays, who's going to be the offensive coordinator and all this. So Matt Patricia is the offensive coordinator for the Patriots. And Matt Patricia is the offensive coordinator for the New England Patriots.
Matt Patricia, who wasn't...
Matt Patricia, the former Detroit Lion head coach, yes.
But wasn't he a defensive coordinator before he went
yes,
over
he was.
to Detroit?
Yes,
okay,
he was.
I'm just making sure. Okay, all right.
That Matt Patricia, yes.
Okay.
And so what gets me about it is that even without Tom Brady, like this team is just continues to be smug, arrogant, like, hey, we know what we doing. Like really, you couldn't tell us who's calling your plays in the offseason? Like, you had to keep that a secret? Like like Matt Patricia was gonna be some kind of like genius, like, oh, surprise, we got you, like, come on, y'all, like, y'all.
Oh, maybe he was such a liability that they didn't, or maybe he was such a liability. Maybe it wasn't arrogance. Maybe it was we know that we don't have a good offensive coordinator.
Maybe.
I don't know, man. I just hope they come out being trash on Sunday. I'm looking forward to 2-0, man.
Yeah, they got the Patriots as a 1 point favorite. I don't know what that's about.
I think TJ Watt got something to do with that.
Man, if you and I didn't catch a lot of that Miami Patriot game, but from what I saw, the highlights that I saw of Mac Jones, it was not good, bro. It was not good at all.
But their offensive, I don't know how good their offensive line is. I didn't watch any of that game, but maybe their offensive line is better than Cincinnati's. I passed Rich Joe. To anybody who would criticize Joe Burrow, I don't think. I mean, sure, it's week 1, you have a little rust, but we put great amount. I mean, Highsmith had a great game. Hayward had a great game. T.J. Watt had a great game all the way up until he was injured. Like. Minka Fitzpatrick obviously had a great game. I mean, like the defense was really clicking for a lot of the game, more so in the first half than the second half. But they was playing a great fucking game. They played a good game overall.
Right.
Sunday. So I don't know if I'm necessarily I don't think for a second Joe Burrow is gonna have a bad game against Dallas next week. Don't think it for a second.
No, I don't think so. Dallas got some issues of their own. We'll talk about that a little bit later. I guess I don't have much to say about the Ravens beating the Jets. I think everybody expected that outcome to be what it was. We got after Joe Flacco real hard on those drives there. Their offense couldn't do anything. We had a couple turnovers. Defense looked good. Front four looks good. It felt good for once to rush forward without having to bring extra guys to get home. And I get it's the Jets, and I get it's the offensive line of the Jets. I get it. Okay. Joe is washed up. Okay. And the Jets they're the Jets. Let's just put it like that. Yeah. They're the Jets.
But you gotta play who's in front of you.
Exactly. So, I'm glad we got the win. I will say that the first 2-3 offensive drives for us, that body language coming from Lamar, and I'd say the rest of that team, the body language just wasn't there. And I was a little bit worried for a minute, is he, upset that the deal didn't go through right, or, what's going on there? But once he threw that touchdown to Duvernay, the first one, they got that offense going. And so, Duvernay had a great day, 2 touchdowns, and then they threw the one bomb to Rashad Bateman. So that kind of was the game there, was those three big throws for touchdowns is really what won us the game there. So,
yes, sir.
So we got
right on time.
Yep. We got our special guest right here. Y'all know him as Jeff Fox, Miami radio personality. Been here before. He's back now.
That's a different show, but they're my boys too.
He handled business. Hey, Jeff.
Yeah.
Hey, you talking to us? You handling some business?
No, I'm talking to my. I didn't know you guys could hear me, man. Holy shit.
Yeah. Like you got some business going on over there.
Yeah, I'm my bad. I was talking to my cousin in the kitchen, and I was checking out Mo Cheese and them. I was checking it with those fellas for a minute.
Oh, no doubt. Shout out to Mo Cheese too, man. One of our faithful listeners out there too, man. Hey, we was just talking about your Dolphins earlier, beating up on the Patriots on Sunday. I know you don't necessarily root for the Dolphins. You just cover the team, right?
Yeah, I was there. There was a lot of excitement in the stadium, man. We were a bit sad, obviously, because we lost the senior vice president of communications, a brother by the name of Jason Jenkins.
Mm.
Very, very good friend of mine, man. His family was there. It was our first game without Jason. So if my Raiders don't win the Super Bowl this year, I'm definitely rooting for the Dolphins.
Well, you ain't got much to look forward to, player.
I was gonna say, man, Raiders or Dolphins, I don't know, man. Those two teams might not even make the playoffs, depending on how things go.
Well, I mean, listen, Dolphins. I think y'all sleeping on the Dolphins.
Oh, I'm not. I got them in the playoffs. Okay. I got them in the playoffs
because they got speed at every position. The defense is very physical. These aren't the same old Dolphins that are going to just run the ball up the middle on first and second down or 3 yards in a cloud of dust, and then they got to go for it on third down. They're unpredictable. And this coach McDaniel, I like him. The players seem to like him. They seem to want to play for him. They'll fight for him, especially on that defense, man. The secondary with Javon Holland making plays, X-Man making plays. You got the rookie. Well, he's not a rookie, but he's a second-year guy out of Miami, Jalen Phillips. They put heat. They come with the heat, and you're not going to make a living running on them. So, I mean, the Patriots got up and down the field rather easily on the first drive, but that was about it.
Yeah.
That was about it. They shut it down after that.
Yeah. I mentioned this earlier about Brian Daboll, who's the rookie head coach of the Giants, and the gut call that he made to go for 2 to beat the Titans at the end of that game. Mike McDaniel made somewhat of a similar call, not the same situation, but it was a 4th and 6 or a 4th and 7, and 4th and 7. They went for it, and Jalen Waddle catches his ball streaking down the sideline for a touchdown, and everybody seems to enjoy, that call in particular.
Well, that shook up the whole stadium. That put everybody that had any doubts about whether this is the same old Dolphins. He showed right there. Like, I'm gonna go for it. Like, it's 4th and 7, and everybody, a lot of Dolphin fans at that point were going, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" Because that's what they're used to. 4th and 7. Oh, that's the punting situation. Punting, nah. This is different.
Right.
We have speed at every position. There's a 50-50 chance we can get this first down. And it turned out to be a great call. You guys know the coach in college, high school. They said, no. Great play. Yeah. That was the fans on Sunday.
I will say this. Now, I don't got them going to the playoffs, but I will say I'm a fan of moments. Moments, that's kind of how you steal me over. On that touchdown play, I didn't know that Waddle had a little fan club that liked to do the little penguin dance. I didn't know that was a thing. That did win me over a little bit. I was like, oh, I like that. See, I like those little fan trinkets. I like those little things that gets the team, that gets the crowd involved in the games. So I will say that when I saw that highlight, I said, this looks different.
It looks different.
I did say that looks different.
It looks different and it feels different because, again, that Jalen Waddle thing started a year ago. He caught a record number of passes, but they were of the short variety. I'm telling you, Tyreek Hill makes a difference on any football team he's on. Mm-hmm. He totally changes everything. You have to pay attention. And then he goes in motion, and he's fast.
The moment
you
that
hear the crowd gasping,
Yeah, the moment they traded for Tyreek, I immediately thought Jalen Waddle is going to have a great year. Because Tyreek is going to draw so much attention, and Waddle is just going to be able to do his thing on the other side.
No doubt. And the
Right.
Dolphins have a tight end named Mike Gesicki.
Yeah.
He's not there with Travis Kelce and Darren Waller yet, but he's a notch below them, and he's good.
Yeah.
He's got great
Yeah.
hands. Yeah.
Yeah. I heard they tried to
Yeah.
trade him.
There was rumors, but they turned out to be just rumors.
Yeah. Now he's a good tight end. No, I've had him on
Solid.
some fantasy team to keep in touch. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm gonna just get straight to it, man. Y'all gotta test this up and coming week, man. Y'all gotta test against Baltimore. And as you know, Trey here is a Baltimore fan, as you can see in his trash ass background. That he got his. So how you feeling about next week?
That's gonna be a big test. The Ravens
Yeah.
always have the Dolphins number. They always beat the Dolphins, even though I think the Dolphins surprised them the last time.
Last year on a Thursday
Yeah.
night. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a big surprise. That was a big shock to all of us because every time the Dolphins play the Ravens, they get out physical. And the difference with this Dolphin team, not only are they fast and athletic at every position, but they're still physical. So they can go toe-to-toe with Baltimore. And I'm telling you, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if the Dolphins get him again. It all depends on Tua.
Well, look.
It all depends on Tua.
Yeah.
It all depends on Tua.
I was just about to say.
Yeah.
It's basically gonna come down to excuse me. It's gonna come down to Tua versus Lamar Jackson, I think. And the way Lamar's mindset is right now, with playing on the 5th-year option, tried to get a deal done, but he's working toward that. It's the home opener for us here in Baltimore. The Dolphins are gonna have their work cut out for them. I'm gonna just say that. I will say though, watching us against the Jets on Sunday, our DBs have this issue where they miss tackles every now and then, regardless of who the receiver is, the running back, whether they're elite, okay, solid, or they suck. We have issues with tackling in the open field. And if there's one worry that I do have in this game is that if Tyreek get the ball in his hands or Jalen Waddle and we trying to make tackles and if we're going to put those same techniques out there the way we did against New York, that worries me. Like, that would be the only issue I would have against y'all. But I think everywhere else, I'm not worried a bit.
Really? I mean, you got to be concerned about the backfield, too, because they've got some game breakers in that backfield as well. This Dolphin offense has speed everywhere. Tua is the key to everything.
Yeah.
He's the key to everything because he can be very inconsistent. There's talk about his accuracy, but he throws the ball within a 20-yard box. You will hardly ever see him go for the gusto, like go 60, 70 yards down the field.
Yeah.
He stays within that box. And I think he's got to break out of that to really take advantage of having Tyreek Hill. Otherwise, DBs can just sit on him.
Yeah.
Sit on him.
Yeah.
Keep everybody in front of you and let him nickel and dime you down the field without making a mistake. You know? And that's hard to do.
Yeah, I like Tua.
Man, I don't think Miami's that kind of offense. I don't know if they're that kind of nickel. Would you consider them a nickel and dime offense?
Not anymore. They used to be.
Yeah.
Now they can attack you more. They can attack you more, and I think we saw that with McDaniel going for the fourth down. That's just a sign of things to come. It's just been one game. I think this Dolphin offense is going to be a fun football team. They're going to be wide open. They've got speed everywhere. And I think it's going to be fun for Dolphin fans. A fun year.
Yeah. They could have fun being 1-1 after week 2. they could have fun doing that. They could beat everybody else. They could sweep the Patriots. They could sweep New York. They could, I don't know. I think when they play Buffalo, whenever that is, I think that's going to be a good matchup for Miami. Yeah.
They're playing Buffalo week 3. So
Okay.
Man.
That's right off the bat, man. And unfortunately, I'll miss that game. I'm shooting a pilot for a show, which I'll announce later.
Quick flex.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm about to say he about to announce it right here on the podcast right here.
Quick flex. I feel you.
Yeah, I can't do it yet, man. But I'll be able to do it pretty soon.
Okay.
Soon, man.
Okay.
Early
congrats. I'll say that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey.
I want to ask you something. I want to ask you something, Maestro. Mike Tomlin won me over on Sunday. Because not only does he look like Omar Epps from Raising Cane's.
I always call him Coach Epps.
Yeah, but he was doing the AB. He was doing the AB. Did you see the video with the Steelers in the locker room?
I've been retweeting it all day.
Yeah, doing the AB. I wrote a column on it on the JeffWhiteShow.com about AB's dance just going viral everywhere. Like kids are doing it down here in Miami. In the parks, the little kids are doing it. The college kids are doing it, and now NFL guys are doing it. LeBron James and Draymond Green were seen doing it. AB might be onto something, and I thought he might be onto something. I thought he was losing his mind. I thought it was a nice.
I've been telling people about AB all that. Look. His ways are unorthodox. That's the nicest way to say it. Is his ways are unorthodox. But when you listen to him talk about why he does the things he does,
right,
it makes sense. Even though it's not the way that I would go about some of the things if I were in his shoes per se. When he says I remember him talking about what happened when he walked off the Jets stage.
Against the Jets,
against the Jets. And he said, well, at the end of the day, I'm a man and you a man. So it's either walk off the stadium or punch this nigga in the face. That makes sense to me.
Right.
That makes sense to me. So, you know what I'm saying? So, unorthodox, I mean, and at the end of the day, the dude, he might not never play football again. I think he's all but said it. Or maybe he's even said it at this point. But he's fine. He whatever he want to do with his rap career, he's fine. I'm sure he's made enough money to chill. He working with Kanye West on the Donda Sports thing. He's just fine. He don't need to play this NFL, the game with all these NFL people.
Well, at the rate things are going, he might be safer playing NFL football than he is being a rapper. Let me just say that.
Yeah. Well. I don't know how, I think he just needs the right feature. I just think he needs the right one. I don't think he a good rapper, but I don't think a lot of these younger dudes that's doing that style of rap are good rappers. So
they're not. They're not. It's all about the beat, the cadence, I DJ in the club, man. None of it makes sense. But they love it. They love it. They love Lil Baby. They love the other one, The Baby. Nardo Wick. I don't know if you guys are familiar with these.
Oh, I am. I do similar things, so I am.
Yeah. So I mean, and I know what gets the crowd going, and that AB song has not caught on in the clubs as yet, but it just might. The one called "Put That Shit On." It got a little flow to it, and when
it got a little thing to it.
I saw.
I thought that Palace one was going to catch. I thought it was going to catch a little bit, but it hasn't. But I thought it was.
Yeah, and you got the cat who got smoked yesterday. Unfortunately, R.I.P. PNB. What is it?
PNB Rock.
PNB.
PNB
rest in
Rock.
peace. Yeah,
definitely, man. He had some hits.
Yeah.
A lot of his records were hits, and I don't know what's going on in hip hop, man. I'm curious to see what you guys think. I think the old heads like Diddy, Snoop Dogg, Jay-Z, maybe Farrakhan. I don't know.
Well, someone on Twitter, someone on Twitter yesterday said, while trying to pay respects to the young man, also was trying to insinuate that these guys put too much of their lives on social media, IG, on the all this stuff, and that may all be true, right? But I just thought that was bad timing to even mention something like that, because at the end of the day, it's a lifestyle thing for these guys. And if guys want to flaunt money and how much they got, their lifestyle and all that, that's just what they're gonna do. I mean, guys, you mentioned Diddy and and Snoop and those guys from back then. They didn't have social media like this to be flaunting stuff like this. Like, I could imagine if they did, 20, 30 years ago, those guys would probably be doing the same thing. And so when it gets down to it, yeah, Pop Smoke, it happened to him. What's my man name? Crenshaw. Nipsey, it happened to him. It happened to a few other guys where they're on social media and they're telling people, hey, this is where I'm at, things like that. It's a lifestyle thing, and unfortunately, I don't think you can get these guys to, do what you suggest that they do, which is not be flashy, because that's basically what they're doing. They're being flashy.
Yeah, and it's gonna continue. I see more rappers being killed. Because there'll be retaliation. There's just so much dumb stuff going on in hip hop. I'm almost embarrassed to be associated with it, but I still like the music. I like the culture. Mm-hmm. I just think it's in trouble. I think it's in serious trouble.
I love the culture. This here and in the future and in the past, I love this culture that was created by black people, and me personally, I ain't never gonna turn my back on it. What I'll say to this conversation is that is hip hop ain't doing nothing but reflecting what normal people do, meaning not necessarily flash the money, but everything they go through, everything they think is worth showing. I watch rappers, because I watch rappers in my area, local rappers who ain't getting it per se, and they posting everything. They posting how they just sitting in a shitty apartment staircase smoking, like, two on live, 2 followers.
You're not lying.
Talking about nothing. Absolutely nothing. Just waiting for somebody to pop on and say, "Hey, what's up?" type thing. So, social media is just a part of everybody's life. These rappers just happen to be rappers in the age where this thing is that thing.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's a moneymaker. Let's call it what it is. This right here is a moneymaker. The social media accounts, all that stuff.
And something else to consider, because I plan on doing a show discussing this very topic at some point. The fact that we sold records back then. Records, tapes, CDs. Now they go on streaming. So you kind of got to do the social media. Yeah. You got to post. You got to share. You want, what do they call it? Likes. All that dumb shit. Yeah. So the game has changed. But with that, you putting yourself at risk. Like, I don't think even XX, Tentacion, he got robbed. He had 50 bands on him. 50.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he just wanted to go buy a bike, but he didn't share anything. He just had that amount of cash on him that he worked for. And should be able to go anywhere in America and buy whatever you want. But, like you said, niggas followed him. Oh, X is at this store. Yeah. Got a backpack. Yeah. Let's go get him. That's what they did. Yeah. It's sickening, man, and I'm frustrated. I really am.
Yeah, but I don't blame it on the. I don't so much blame it on the rappers more than I blame it on the state of the people who aren't where the rappers are. These niggas is hungry, and I wish that rappers didn't do that as much. Like, if you don't show it, then they don't know you got it. They can assume, but if they know you walking around with knots, then all right, they know that if they see you walking in the street that you might have a knot on you, so they go get it. So I wish they would just use Apple Pay. I wish, but don't get likes.
They ain't rolling.
They don't get likes. They don't get likes.
And one of my favorite rappers is Young Dolph, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
rest in
He's
peace.
gone.
Rest in peace.
He's
Yeah.
gone. I love him. I love
Yeah.
Mo3. Like, these are all
Right.
brilliant artists, man, that we will never hear from again.
Right.
So
Right.
it's easy to say, man, you're not going to turn your back on the culture, but we got to have a solution. What do we do?
Yeah.
What do you suggest?
To be
I
honest with
guarantee you, bro, 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now, it's going to be somebody else.
Yeah.
The only thing I could think of, I mean,
Stay
as we're
safe.
sitting here talking, you mentioned it. Stay safe. I was just gonna say, in addition to that, you just gotta have more security with you.
That's the only answer. Roll around like you're Floyd Mayweather. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Roll around with like 30 dudes behind
you. You gotta have an entourage.
And that licensed gun courier.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That one licensed gun courier.
Yep.
What's gonna happen when they do that though? The likelihood of somebody getting jumped or beat down will continue because everybody wants to be a hero. When you have those large entourages, follow them around.
Yes.
It's sad, man. And as a black person, I agree. I don't see a solution in sight.
Yeah. I just think for better or for worse. I mean, there are certain things that just come with certain things in life, and I think that that's not a foregone conclusion to say is that as long as those types of rappers are those types of rappers, in order to keep that image up, they have to carry that amount of cash, they have to wear that amount of jewelry, they have to post it. So as long as they decide to be those types of rappers, these are the types of things that may happen, and that's just what comes with the game. It is unfortunate because it seems like the influx of I put it to you this way, Jeff Fox. I think because so many kids can become rappers. If you got enough money to put it on to get it where you need to get it at. I mean, I know who Mo3 is, but I'm not super aware of his music. But he made enough of an impact to have the money, to have the influence in his city, and as long as he does that, walking around, and I know in my area in DC, it's so many more rappers than from the '90s. So the numbers are going to go up because the number of rappers have gone up. The number of artists have gone up because now we don't got to go to big expensive studios. If I showed you my background, I can record albums in my apartment. You know what I'm saying? So that's the sad thing. So I bring hundreds, not necessarily hundreds, but I bring a lot of people in here and don't charge them a quarter of what they would have to pay in big boy studios,
right?
And get somewhat of a result. Right, somewhat of a result. Yeah. So when I can do that, and because consumers all they really want is the image. It don't got to be the best song, the best mixing, any of that. It just got to hit those trigger points that people like. And if this street dude making a whole bunch of money, or this non-street dude who pretending to be is making this whole bunch of money, and now he out here with the wolves and don't know how to maneuver with the wolves, and it's unfortunate. But I think the answer, but it's a long answer, it takes is that we got to start teaching these young boys how to run with the wolves.
And it's okay, and nonetheless too, it's okay to talk about the root of the problem, which is you got dudes that's hungry, jealous, don't know how to get it, so they got to try to get it from somebody else. You know what I mean? That's a problem.
They're never going nowhere.
I know.
Those wolves are never going nowhere though.
I know. But I'm just making the point that it's still okay to talk about that as the root of the issue, in addition to trying to teach the young ones coming up how to move, who you move with, who you trust, who you don't trust.
It's sad, because if you study hip hop, a lot of these kids, man, they work hard at it. They study it, they hustle, and then when they get there, somebody else wants to just take it from them. Yeah. And every city in America right now has a Young Dolph or a Nipsey Hussle. I remember where you were up there in Bmore. There was a rapper that was trying to do good in this neighborhood. I think he got smoked in broad daylight. I can't remember his name.
I know who you're talking about. His name's escapes me, but I know who you're talking about.
But he was an up and comer. and he was doing good stuff in the community, just
Mm-hmm.
like Dolph was in Memphis, just like Nipsey was out there, in Cali,
Yep.
and it's a recurring story, and
Yeah.
just tired of seeing it, But these
Yeah.
kids are making a crazy amount of money.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You can
And
make
don't know what to do with it.
and
And
don't know what to do with it.
yeah, I agree with that. And I think in some cases, some of these kids they want to give back to their community. And I'll
Yep.
throw another name out there. There was a rapper named Stack Bundles from Far Rockaway, Queens. Used to go
Yeah.
back to the hood all the time, and he gets popped right in front of his projects in broad daylight.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
And Kodak Black down here in Miami, Fort Lauderdale, is huge. Huge Kodak
Yeah.
Black. But when he talks, I may need a translator. Like, I don't know what else. Like, I can't understand it. And
Yeah.
then you had NBA Youngboy. It's the way they
Yeah.
dress. The guy in Memphis last week that went around shooting people on social media. You
Yeah,
guys heard
yeah.
that story, right?
Yeah, I heard that.
Mhm.
He
Yeah.
looks just like
Mhm.
NBA Youngboy,
Wow.
like just in appearance. Like they all dress with the sagging jeans.
Yeah.
It just looks, pardon the word, niggerish, man. And
Yeah.
it looks like dumb, and I don't use the N word too often, but it looks like some dumb nigga shit. That's what
Mhm.
hip hop has become, and I miss the old hip hop. I do.
Well,
Sorry for sounding like
I
an
w-
old man in the club. I know
That's
that.
fine. No, that's fine. That's fine.
Nah,
That's
I
fine.
appreciate this conversation.
I always check myself when I sound like the old person because I know what I was doing at 20 years old. I know what
Right.
I was doing at 25 years old. I know the type of conversations I was having, and I'm not gonna pretend like I was ever as bad or as gangster as some of these cats, but I know two things. I know two things that I was somewhere in the ballpark, and I also know that when they were 10, or they were looking at me be that
Yeah.
nigga.
Yep. You're
So
right. You're right.
Mhm.
if anything, so I always say that to people because I got an OG who's like 10 years older than me. He talk about all y'all young boys do this. I'm like, well, we just watched you.
Mm-hmm.
That's
We just
true.
watched you. Yeah.
That's true.
Mhm.
I'm gonna tell you something else, man. I don't think like Suge Knight thought he was the most dangerous dude in America. Suge Knight would have got popped so long ago today. Like you can't
Yeah.
do that type of shit today.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
won't fly.
no.
These kids are killers.
Yeah.
They're cold blooded. Like they pulled up on a dude in LA a month ago and shot him at a gas station. I forgot his name, but he's famous too. He didn't die, but his passenger, one of his good friends, died. And then he started crying on social media, and then they started laughing at him and said they should sample the voice of him crying and make a song. Like these kids have no heart.
I mean,
You want to hear some sick
King
shit?
Von had his body. King Von had his body count on his album cover. Yeah, like yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Rest
So
in peace,
it's
King Von. By the
Crazy.
way. Yeah,
We're saying that a lot during this segment, right?
yeah,
Rest in peace,
yeah,
rest
yeah,
in peace.
yeah.
Because that's where we are in hip hop.
Yeah.
That's
It's
where
crazy.
we are.
I mean, and even
It's
just to
the
kind of
thing, guys.
and just to kind of put a bow on this, like, what about
Yeah.
the guys that are in hip hop but are doing time, like a dude like Casanova from Brooklyn who's got a body count, and I think the dude's a hell of a rapper, but man, like you gotta make some better decisions, bruh.
Young Thug is tweeting. It was a Young Thug.
Yeah.
What's the other guy
Yeah,
name in
yeah, it's
jail?
Young Thug.
It is Young
I saw the
Thug.
tweet. It's Young Thug who tweeting.
Him and Gunner. Like they got phones. Like I mean, what's going on, man?
It's crazy. It's
I
crazy.
don't know. I blame it on TV though, man. They are desensitized to killing because all they watch is realistic video games killing people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And you know what? The movies are still just as violent as they've always been.
Yeah.
But we don't see that stuff translate to those communities. Like we see what happens with hip hop and with the realization of what's going on in our communities. Like remember when Chuck D said hip hop was the CNN of what's going on in our communities?
Mhm.
It really is.
Yeah.
Because it's gotten worse. And it still is that. These kids are rapping about what they see and what they know.
Mm-hmm.
And what they know is death.
Right.
Lots
But
of
here's the thing. That's the same thing that rappers that regard as the highest rappers and the best rappers. All they was doing was rapping about what they were seeing too.
KRS-One, yeah, Rakim,
Yeah.
those cats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Even
Yeah.
so
Common
All
was
they was
rapping
doing was
about that
rapping. All
stuff.
they was doing was rapping about what their experiences and what they were seeing. So I mean, who am I to criticize these youngins that are just reporting, like Nas used to say, reporting what they're seeing, what they're experiencing. I
Yeah.
mean, it's a shame on society more than it is a shame to them for just being reporters.
yeah,
Yeah.
You
They're
never got
reporters
mad at
just
Tony
like
Perkins.
the old school guys are reporters. It's just a different. We're
Yeah.
just in different times. That's
no,
really the only difference there.
but that, man, it's gonna be rough. So I mean, hopefully we can find an answer. I don't know. I have no ideas.
Hey, I need you to find an
Yeah.
answer for me on this one, Jeff Fox.
Uh-huh.
Just to transition for a second. So, earlier today, the NBA released a statement about Phoenix Suns
Yeah.
owner and Phoenix Mercury owner Robert Sarver. They had foundings that he was using the N word. He was calling women out of their name, saying sexual things to coworkers and people in the front office and things like that. And
That
the
nigga was showing
league
his
hands.
wife in a bikini.
What's that?
That nigga was showing pictures of his wife in a bikini to other coworkers.
And
Oh
so
shit!
and so yeah, and so the league comes down and they give him a 1 year suspension from both teams, and I think they fine him too. I don't remember what the fine amount was, but they fine him.
Right.
So to me, it's bullshit, right? Because somebody's got to tell me. Like Adam Silver has to sit down and explain to me what the difference is between what Sarver did and what Donald Sterling did, who, by the way, got his team ripped from him, rightfully so, because of all the things that he got caught being said. So I don't know what's different about this other than there wasn't a V. Stiviano to catch Sarver, saying these things. Like, if your report and your findings say that he said the N-word, that's an offense that should cost you your franchise.
Absolutely, I agree 1,000%. My cousin been trying to get my attention and tell me about this story all day. I haven't gotten to it just because I've been doing other stuff. But now that I hear it explained, there is no difference between this story and.
I'm gonna tell you,
I know why. I know why they're being lenient, because that same Phoenix Sun organization just recently was awarded. I think James Jones was Executive of the Year. He just got coached. They were considered one of the NBA's up and coming glamour franchises, just because of the way they were being run. So all of this bad news hit like a ton of bricks. Yeah. And even though it wasn't exactly the Clippers situation, but it was in a way. So you got to give it the same type of punishment.
Yeah.
To be out of there. You should not be allowed to come back.
I agree he should be out of there, but here's the major thing that we're missing as to why I think that he was just given that lighter sentence. There was no audio recording.
No audio.
There was no audio recording. So now, so it's here. It's he say, she say, and as much as I would love to, and not love to, I believe Earl Watson. And based on the article that I read today, the player that was unnamed who heard, okay. So what happened is that Earl Watson alleged him saying nigger in reference to Draymond Green. The Sarver said, I didn't say nothing about Draymond Green and Earl Watson, but I did have a conversation with a player on the Suns team. I guess he was involved in that altercation in that game or whatever. That anonymous player says, I have no recollection of that conversation that Sarver is referring to. So now it looks like Sarver's lying and Earl Watson is telling the truth. But imagine having a owner fired or having an owner sell his teams based on the word of a black man.
That's true.
Good point.
Yeah. I mean, I can see why you're looking at it that way, and why you have, skepticism. Really,
Good point.
On why they come with it, why they didn't come with a harsher punishment.
Yeah,
I can see it.
Hey man, and shouts out to Earl Watson because I feel like he should have a head coaching job somewhere. I feel that way. I just feel like he was dealt a shitty hand in that Phoenix Suns situation. But V. Stiviano is more attractive.
Yeah, and I'm wondering where's James Jones? Like James Jones comes from here in Miami. Miami guy, born, bred here, played at the U, won championships with the Heat and LeBron.
Yeah,
and won NBA Executive of the Year. I've got pictures of me and him courtside at a Heat game. I've talked to him, and I've talked with the what's the name of the current coach?
Monty Williams.
Yeah,
Monty Williams. Mm-hmm.
Great guys, man. So it's hard to believe that you've got this type of a racial cloud hanging over guys like James Jones and Monty Williams.
Yeah,
and they didn't know.
And Chris Paul, and I'm throwing him in this conversation too because he was a part of that Clipper mess. Yeah, he was a part of that Clipper mess, and now he's a part of this mess also. And I got to tell you, y'all, whenever the season start, them players got to protest, bro. I'm sorry, because you can't have this much diversity in the front office and on your court and allow the league to just come down with a year suspension of a white guy that said the N-word amongst that organization. Like, you can't have that,
And not
bro.
just once, by the way. There's countless accounts of him saying nigga.
Yeah.
One was saying he was quoting it. One was saying he was responding to Draymond Green in another conversation. Aside from all the sexual harassment stuff, he's showing his like people are genuinely not in a comfortable workspace, and the first report of it has been going on since October of 2021. So that means they was playing the whole NBA season this past year.
Yeah.
Just running around, this nigga just running around saying nigga all the time, and I'm and the only account I've heard of somebody checking him is Earl Watson screaming at him saying you can't say that, and that's to Earl Watson's account.
Yeah,
so we don't even know what really happened. But let me say I'm very confident that he done said nigga in front of black people and ain't nobody smacked taste out this motherfucking mouth.
Yeah.
I mean, unless he was reciting some Bobby Smurda lyrics. I mean,
yeah.
Some headphones on. And he wasn't.
I'm sorry, you can't sing that part. You better get the edited version. Bro.
You can't sing it.
Do it, Salva.
You can't say it in the lyric.
Man.
You can't
guys,
do it.
I spoke with Mike Wilbon once, and Wilbon cusses a lot. If you know him, every other word is there.
I could tell.
And he uses nigger, the word nigger, a lot, and he's proud of it.
Yeah.
But he said,
he be wanting to cuss on PTI. I watch PTI, and I swear he be wanting to cuss every time him and Kornheiser do a topic.
But you know who can't say it? Who could never say it? And I think if they ever uttered that word, Wilbon would knock the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Kornheiser.
Yeah,
right. Absolutely.
Wilbon said, I mean, I never got the concept of it, but you know what? My friends use it. I use it on occasion, as I've done on this show. It's something. It's amazing how black people could take a negative word and make it positive, but it's exclusively our word. Like you motherfuckers cannot use ever.
You can't say it.
Yeah.
Under zero circumstances. Even your closest homies. Don't say it. Like,
don't you do it.
Punch in the mouth.
Don't do it.
I love you, but I'm gonna have to slap the taste out your mouth.
Right.
And that's
ain't no slap. It's gonna be a punch.
A punch. So I look at that situation, and when white folks go, well, how come you guys say it and all your stuff? Don't worry about that.
Right.
That's our answer.
Shut your damn mouth.
Don't worry
about
that.
Shut your damn mouth, cracker.
Don't worry about it.
And we can call them cracker and all types of. That's why I love my people, cause
Yeah.
shit, man, we didn't took it, man. We didn't took it. At least we
And
could say
own
have
it.
an exclusive word for us.
Mm-hmm.
Shit.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. I don't want to
Exactly.
leave this out either. So we're talking about Solver and everything. I don't want to leave this out either. But he also owns the Phoenix Mercury WNBA franchise also. And I think they deserve some attention in this also, given the Brittany Griner situation, given, Skylar Diggins has had some meltdowns this past season, and, the fact that they too, as a group, they've protested on several occasions, not just them, but the WNBA as a whole have protested on a lot of occasions over the past 2-3 years. I think that team, in addition to the Suns, I think they got to speak up and just say something loud about this.
I think they will. I think they will.
Yeah.
Because Monty Williams, again, I spoke with him, and it felt like I was talking to my father.
Yeah.
Yeah. It did. It felt like you're talking to, that older relative that just speaks nothing but gospel to you. And I was telling him how I admired him so much because of what he went through, losing his wife and all that. And you got to be hella strong to come back the way he did.
Yeah.
You know?
For sure.
And so I admire him for that. And then I'm from the Bahamas originally. DeAndre Ayton, he's from there as well. So it was kind of like a little fellowship, brotherhood type thing going on.
Buddy Hield's from there too, right?
Buddy Hield, yep.
Mm-hmm.
And there's another guy in Charlotte named Kai Jones. Watch out for him. He's a high flyer. Yeah, he's got a body like he probably needs to work on his handles a little bit. But man, they've got that tournament going on, the FIFA or what's it called? The one with
where Giannis just got kicked out earlier today. Yeah.
Oh, he got kicked out. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, he got kicked out. Yeah, he got kicked out.
Oh yeah.
He got kicked out of some. Look, man, don't give me the line about what the name of the league is because I don't know. I don't know the name of the league.
I think it's FIFA. Federal.
FIBA.
Yeah, FIBA.
FIBA.
Yeah.
Okay. Not FIFA.
Yeah.
FIBA.
Yeah, not FIFA.
Okay.
FIBA.
Okay.
He got kicked out of a game.
Wow.
Well, okay.
The WNBA finals are getting ready to start, so I'm a huge WNBA fan. I will admit that right now. My girl is Chelsea Gray. She's from the Las Vegas Aces. She got a little mamba thing going on. She listening to Ryan Rucco, one of the ESPN announcers. He's fantastic. They need to put him on more NBA games. The games are always sold out. The Vegas Aces game tonight is sold out.
Yeah, I saw a clip. I saw a clip of them circling around the arena, waving towels and stuff, and I was like, "Oh snap! They selling the place out."
Electric. And when they get back to Connecticut for games 3 and 4, you'll see the same thing. This is the best level of women's basketball that I've ever seen. They're well on their way to doing some great things, man.
They went toe for toe with Seattle in the last round.
Yeah.
I forget what game that
man.
was, but Sue Bird knocks down a jumper, and then who was it? Asia Wilson that comes down and scores the game-winning bucket. I think there was like 6 points scored in 3 seconds or something crazy like that.
Yeah, and all the players in the NBA tweeting about it. And I love the way the guy players support the ladies.
Yeah.
But I just think they need to get more money. They need to be paid more money. And maybe if they keep selling out arenas, they will. Seattle also, not to drift too far away from what you were on, but Seattle needs an NBA team immediately.
Bring the Sonics back.
Yeah, bring the Sonics back. That city, man, when it comes to basketball, incredible.
You know who should they take? They should take and move to Seattle. They should take the Kings and move them to Seattle, bro.
I agree.
They should take the Kings and move them to Seattle. I don't care that they got a new facility. The Kings have been irrelevant since Bobby Jackson and Mike Bibby and Vlade Divac and all those guys. Like it's been so long.
Right. That's over 20 years ago, huh?
Yeah.
Dang.
They've been bad for that long.
They've been bad for a long time, man. Like they're
Oh,
irrelevant.
shit.
Send them to Seattle, man. That's where I'm
Yeah.
at.
Did they fire Luke Walton yet, or
Yes, they did.
they did fire? Okay.
They did.
Who's
They
that
got a, they got
coach
a they got a black coach. I forget who they got now, but they hired somebody black, which was a great thing. But I can't remember who it was. But hey,
fellas.
hey Jeff Fox. One last thing for you. Besides you covering the Dolphins this past weekend, anything else in Week 1 kind of stick out to you based on the results of the games?
The kickers were horrible. The kickers around the league were horrible. And last night's ending on Monday Night Football, I think all of us who watched that game are at least 3 levels dumber for watching that game. because of that coach, if he should be fired today. Because if you're, 2 fumbles on the 1-yard line, and then you pay Russell Wilson what, $285 million? So I don't know, some crazy number. But to tell him, I'm not going to go for it on 4th down. I'd rather kick it from 64 yards out.
Wow,
like, oh
man.
my God, yeah.
Then they made him lie, and then they made him go on the stand and lie and say, I was cool with them kicking it.
Yeah.
Then
He's just trying to be. He's just trying to be the company guy. The other thing that stands out, and I'll tell you guys, it's something that I discussed with my cousin here, and shout out to my son, who was in boot camp in the Marine Corps. I'm so proud of him. I want the world to know, man, he's kicking ass in the Marine Corps, just like I knew he would, and he's a Dolphin fan. But my cousin just told me, and he didn't say it just now, like there's so many Dallas Cowboy fans in football around America.
Yeah.
I think the Dallas Cowboys have the most fans of all football teams. I think so. And Dallas, he said Dallas will never win another Super Bowl as long as Jerry Jones is a part of that organization.
Wow.
Because of what he did to Jimmy Johnson.
Yep.
Way back when. Because they haven't been.
Yeah. He still ain't put him in the Ring of Honor yet.
Yeah. And listen.
Right. Jimmy Johnson, not in the Ring of Honor.
They're the most talked about team on First Take, on Fox Undisputed, on Dan Patrick, on every. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Right.
Jerry,
have been more relevant.
Look, I hate to say it, but Jerry Jones is a marketing genius. I mean, you can't knock the hustle. You can't knock the hustle there. I mean, he does this sports talk radio stint every Tuesday at the local station in Dallas. I mean, what owner in the league does that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I couldn't imagine Stephen Ross doing it.
Only him.
Yeah.
On the sports bar.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't get it why the Cowboys are so popular. I DJ at a club here in Miami called the Round Table, and a bunch of our customers were at Jerry's house on Sunday in Dallas. They flew out for the game
on the yacht.
I haven't been to Vegas yet to attend one Raider game. I'm gonna go. I just don't know which one.
Right.
But they're fanatics. It's like a cult.
Yeah. It's wild, man.
They need therapy.
They need therapy.
Yeah.
They need therapy.
That they do. That they need.
But, overall, man, looking at the league in general, it's week 1, folks. Let's not panic. My Raiders lost to the Chargers. Justin Herbert scares the shit out of me. I hate playing against him. I hate playing against that coach because he's super aggressive. He will go for it on 4th down from his 25. He don't give a shit.
Yeah.
He damn sure don't.
But he'll sometimes cough the game up for you, though, too.
Yes, he will. But I'd rather have a coach like him than the Broncos coach last night.
Yeah. That for certain.
Exactly.
That I agree with.
Yeah, I hate gutless coaches, and I hope the Detroit Lions, if the football gods are listening, can win at least 8, 9, maybe 10 games. and make the playoffs. I'd love to.
I'm sure Jelani would enjoy that prayer, man.
Yeah,
Jelani would enjoy that, man.
Because they are the most losingest franchise. Like bad things happen to Lions fans, and they've been like that since I was a kid.
Yeah,
since Barry Sanders, since Billy Sims.
Look, there was a video that surfaced yesterday where you had Lions fans fighting in the street right outside of Ford Field in Detroit. I get it. I get it. I mean, y'all fighting each other because the team's so terrible. I get it. Like, you know what I mean?
How long do you have to be terrible? Like, how long? Really? I mean, the Red Sox beat the Yankees. That felt like it was going to go on forever. You know, the Cardinals made it to the Super Bowl. Remember that when that happened?
Yeah.
We were all in shock. So everybody's going to have their day except Lions fans.
Yeah. Cubs won the World Series after 103 years and not winning it.
They played the Eagles real tough in week 1. They played the Eagles tough.
They did.
Yeah. The Eagles almost gave it away, though.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my other thing, guys, and I'll leave you with that one. I predict Jalen Hurts will be in the MVP conversation.
Okay.
He got the team on paper. He got the team on paper to do it. He got the team on paper.
He will shock people. This guy comes back better every year of his career.
Yeah.
When he was at Alabama, he's come back a better player. And I see him stepping up as a leader. I see good things, man. I got more confidence in him than I do with Dak Prescott.
That defense got to help him out, though, because on Sunday, and I watched a few clips of that game, they got pushed around a lot by Detroit's offensive line. So they're going to have to fix that up if the Philly wants to get somewhere.
Yeah. And I'm rooting for that Lions coach, too. He's another reason.
Yeah. I'm rooting for it. I don't mind the Lions having some success, man. I don't know. I know one Lions fan. I know one.
I know one too, and that's
and that's Jelani.
That's Jelani.
It's Jelani.
I know one, but he's a humble Detroit's fan, and I wish success for him.
Jelani, we love you, Jelani. We're all rooting for you.
Shout out to Jelani, man. Shout out to the homie. Hey, Jeff, man, let everybody know where they can find you at on social media.
All right, man. You just simply go to the JeffBoxShow.com. It's JeffBoxShow.com. There's the website. On Instagram, I'm at the Jeff Box Show as well. And that's 3 apps, JD Jeff Box Show. Easy to find. Again, go to the website. Everything you want to know, I write blogs. You read up on everything, and that's what it is. And I want to tell you guys about the show, but it's coming soon.
Okay.
We're shooting
hey, congrats on that again.
I'm gonna hit you offline. For
All
sure.
All right.
Yeah.
No doubt.
No doubt.
Hey, it's always good to hear from you, man.
Yes, sir.
Always good to hear from you.
Appreciate y'all, man.
No doubt, man.
We got to do this again throughout the season, too.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
I like the flow.
Definitely. All right.
All right, guys, man. Wish my Ravens luck, too, man.
You're going to need the wish.
Yeah, for certain.
AFC West? My God.
Yes, sir. You're going to need the wish, and that's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Jeff. Appreciate you, bro.
Y'all be good, man.
All right, man.
Appreciate you.
All right.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the homie Jeff Fox, Miami sports radio personality right there. Make sure y'all check him out on all his social media platforms right there. Hey, man, we kind of bounced around a little bit, man. Sports, hip hop, music, and I was feeling that conversation, man. That was dope
for sure.
Hey,
we got anything left, man?
Yeah, man. I know you want to talk about this AP and Le'Veon Bell thing, right?
It's nothing really worth saying. It was just worth noting that I know because for whatever reason that people don't like Le'Veon Bell. I mean, and I get it. Yeah. I mean, look. I wish he would have stayed with Pittsburgh, but I can't at the end of the day be mad at the brother trying to get his money. I just think it didn't go his way. And, his rap career, his rap sounded the best and all those things. And now he's trying boxing. And for some reason, everybody had that he was getting knocked out by a 35, maybe older than 35-year-old Adrian Peterson. And my thought was, yeah, he could lose, but let's not act like age don't play a factor in this. Like, this
Right.
Bama is 27, 28 years old, Le'Veon Bell, and Adrian Peterson is our age.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
do understand why people said that Le'Veon would get knocked out though, because I
Why?
mean,
I don't- I-
you hear all kinds of stuff about how strong Adrian Peterson is. Not necessarily if he's got boxing skills or wrestling skills or not, but you just hear about the strength of Adrian Peterson. So I kind of understand where that's coming from.
Yeah, I think y'all got. I think everybody who had Le'Veon being knocked out so easily had Le'Veon fucked up. Cause Le'Veon don't look no weaker than Adrian Peterson.
No,
and I get
no.
maybe the stories wasn't around Le'Veon about him being super strong and all those things, but that
Right.
Bama.
That's what it
let's be
is.
clear. Let's be clear. If that Bama had worked it out with Pittsburgh and played with that line a few more years, we'd be having conversations about him as a top tier running back. Like, in the same, like, let's say he played 5 to 7 years at running back with that offensive line. The same conversations we was having about Antonio Brown in his 7-year or 8-year run with that run he had with Pittsburgh. We'd be having that same conversation about Le'Veon Bell.
Okay.
Be very clear about
You
that.
can let it go. You can let it go.
Let what go? No, I'm just saying.
You reminiscing
that's a
about
fact.
you reminiscing about what could have been with Bell Brown,
Yeah, no, I'm
Biv
just
DeVoe,
saying,
whatever.
He would have been the killer bees, nigga. Don't get it twisted. The killer bees, though. But but that run, he would have had a run. Obviously, if he wasn't injured, he would have had that kind of a run. He would have been a top back
Sure.
in the league for years, and it wouldn't have been deniable. Like, we don't deny AB's run.
And he out here
So,
boxing niggas right now. So, I expect to see him boxing some more niggas. So,
yeah. But
what you think? You think he's gonna box some more?
Yeah, it'll be celebrity boxing.
Yep.
I mean, that's the wave. Athletes are doing celebrity boxing. Swaggy P got his ass knocked out this past weekend.
Who did he fight?
I don't know who he fought. I just saw him getting knocked out. That's what I saw.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because didn't Frank Gore and Darren Williams have something?
Oh yeah,
a while back.
Darren Williams. Hey, I don't know why we didn't talk about that. But I look at Darren Williams completely different after
Oh
that.
yeah. Oh yeah. Because going into that, I was like, Frank Gore gonna get him.
I thought Frank Gore because he looked like
Yeah.
No disrespect to Darren Williams, but Frank Gore looked like the type of nigga that'll go in there and knock the fuck
Frank
out.
Gore was trucking niggas in the league. So yeah. Of course I'm gonna think that. But yeah, like you said.
I seen Darren Williams give him that work. I said, eesh.
Yeah.
He gave Frank Gore that work.
Can't look at Darren Williams the same like I used to.
Yeah. Did you hear Von Miller saying that he is the KD of the NFL?
I didn't hear him say that, but it kind of got me to thinking. So he wins the chip with Denver, right? And then he goes to the Rams, wins the chip, and now he's going to a team that could possibly win the chip this year. I could kind of see why he's calling himself the KD of the NFL, because KD is kind of,
I like it.
It's been known to team hop or, go to teams that are already built, for championships. So yeah, I get it.
I like it.
I get it. I don't know that the Bills are going to win a Super Bowl this year, but I mean,
but they are certainly for all intents and purposes, they are certainly the favorites.
He went to a team that is a true contender. That is for certain.
Yeah.
That is for certain.
I think they're the favorites. I don't necessarily think they're the favorites. Me. I don't even.
The consensus is that they're the favorites.
The consensus is that they're the favorites. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think they're the favorites either. But they are a true contender. That much I will say.
And they look like if you watch that game on Thursday, they they look like they the consensus.
Oh yeah, Stephon Diggs ain't playing with y'all niggas.
They look like they definitely look like they the favorites right now.
Yeah, and they're down. Who they're down? They're down Tre'Davious White right now, right? He comes back in like 3-4 weeks or something like that. I didn't even realize.
Yeah, I didn't realize I didn't even realize.
They're down a couple of guys.
Didn't even realize he was missing.
Yeah, they're down a couple of guys. And just to kind of get to that game for just a sec, Jalen Ramsey, man, my man was getting toasted, bruh. Like, we gonna have to start asking ourselves, is Jalen Ramsey still that dude? And I know it's just one game, but we also saw it in the Super Bowl.
Give me a couple of weeks. But Super Bowl, yeah.
We saw it in the Super Bowl.
I mean, it was only one play against Tampa Bay, but
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, keep it on the what's the list?
We're on Jalen Ramsey watch right now.
Yeah, but we are certainly on watch for sure.
Now, I don't think he's going to get toasted this week. I think they play the Falcons, so I think he'll be okay there, because I don't know that Drake London, while he's a nice receiver, I don't know that he's that good yet to burn a guy like Jalen Ramsey.
See, and another thing we had to consider in Jalen Ramsey's in that situation is that he always takes on the best receiver.
Yep.
Always.
Yep.
Whereas some of these corners do not.
That's true.
So when you play the best, you're not gonna win every single one. That's just the fact.
Yep. Respect.
So I mean, that's something, But I agree that we should be on Jalen Ramsey watch. I agree with that.
Yeah. And they're gonna play some good teams, in the later weeks. So we'll see what happens there. They got to play Tampa Bay at some point too. So we're gonna see that. And Chris Godwin is what is he gonna be out for 3-4 weeks? He
I don't know.
Pulled a hamstring.
I know he hurt himself, but
yeah. So he's gonna be out. I'm trying to think who else got.
We didn't even get to Dak Prescott.
Yeah. Dak got surgery on his thumb, so he's gonna be missing 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
I am of the consensus, and I don't know. I've seen some people mention this, but I mentioned it on Twitter. Cam Newton, anybody to the Cowboys, and I get that he would have to go in, learn a playbook, and maybe wait a week. Maybe if he comes in this week, he's not playing against the Bengals, but maybe he could play the following week. But if I'm Dallas, Cooper Rush, Cam Newton, I might take a chance on Cam Newton. I mean, he's going to be cheap.
But I say Mason Rudolph. Mason
Rudolph. Okay. I mean, that's an option too. Some people have said trade for Tyler Huntley. I've heard that conversation too. But they're sticking with Cooper Rush, who's only started once in his career.
I don't know. I remember when I seen him play, and he ain't look good.
He ain't look too good. Yeah.
You can count on a good smoking, when they go play Cincinnati next week.
The reality is that the Cowboy season is over. With already the missing wide receivers, James Washington is not playing. Gallup is not playing. You don't have Amari Cooper. And you're missing some pieces on defense and the offensive line.
And we don't know that CeeDee Lamb is a number one receiver. And I said that when Amari Cooper left.
Right.
We don't know that CeeDee Lamb is a number one receiver.
Although I want to see him with Michael Gallup and James Washington on the field. I want to see him with those two guys.
Fair. That's fair.
That's fair. But the true number ones, regardless of who's around them, still get theirs. So I'll give you that. But I would like to see him with those other two guys on the field. But the season's over for Dallas. I mean, I picked the Eagles to win the division.
About to say, I didn't have Dallas in the playoffs anyway, though. So.
Everybody else won on Sunday in the NFC East. The Commanders beat the Jags. Carson Wentz, I mean, he played an okay game. He did have a couple of bonehead throws, but he came back after the Jags took the lead and then scored a touchdown after that and beat the Jags.
The boy could throw the ball, man.
He could.
That's so that like I remember getting killed a lot last year,
Mm-hmm.
and my only point was is that boy could throw the ball.
He
Like
could.
he can,
Mm-hmm.
he throws the ball. He can throw the ball. Like a lot of like what, a lot of Kirk Cousin comes to mind. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he's done some stupid shit, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, he can throw the ball with some of the best of them in the game.
Yep.
If we're just talking about throwing the ball, now decision making, obviously,
Yeah. Yeah.
maybe stuff around team around him, maybe
Mm-hmm.
but and this is the best quarterback Terry McLaurin has had, and you saw that immediately.
Mm-hmm.
You saw it
Yeah.
immediately. That's the best quarterback he's had.
Yeah. Shout out to Antonio Gibson getting the touchdown there, helping me in my fantasy squad right there. But yeah, man, time's up, man. I don't know if you got anything else. I'm good. This show was certainly dope today. Having Jeff Fox on, talking some
I will
sports and
say
some hip
this.
hop. What's up?
I will say this because we talked about Jalen Ramsey watch.
Yep.
You know another person we need to put on watch? Kyler Murray.
Mmm. Yeah. And the guy that was opposing him, the guy that threw 5 touchdowns, Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, he's still that nigga. Like,
Oh yeah,
we talking about these
that
other quarterbacks, but Patrick Mahomes is
yeah
like what?
yeah
So what? I don't have Tyreek Hill. I'm still gonna do my thing.
yeah
So
yeah
the
for
Chiefs
sure.
are the Chiefs.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
but certain Kyler Murray's on watch.
Yeah,
If Jalen Ramsey is on watch, then damn it, Kyler Murray is on watch.
yeah.
And now that studying clause,
Hmm.
he on watch. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Good point about the clause. I will add too that that's back-to-back performances by Kyler Murray that's not looking really good right now. The playoffs last year
Yeah.
and the opener,
Yeah.
and even some of the games down the stretch in the regular season last year. That's not good if you're getting paid that contract and then you come out and you're not even competing with Kansas City. Like that's the part that gets me. Like if you lose 44-38, okay, cool, and it was just an honest shootout, but y'all was down they was down 3 scores in that game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
y'all not even competing. So yeah, I agree with you there. Like that's a guy that we got to keep on watch right now, and I got that team going to the playoffs, and so far they haven't made me look good right now. Shout out to the homie for coming through with some of that dope talk right there. Everybody, just a reminder, make sure y'all tune in wherever you get your podcasts, in case you missed this episode. Also, you can follow us on our YouTube channel, our Facebook page, and our Instagram account, which is at Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. You can also follow us on Twitter at Barbershop SPOR2. And if you got questions or comments about the show, you can hit us up on the email at barbershopsportstalk1@gmail.com. So, week 1 is in the books. Looking forward to week 2, bro.
Yes, sir.
No doubt, no doubt.
Yes, sir.
Everybody have a good night, and we'll be back next week to recap week 2. Peace. One love.